Do you feel like your energy has declined after turning 60? The solution may be in your kitchen. Today, I'm going to share a powerful secret: the 3 nuts that science has proven to be true natural fuels for people over 60. You'll discover why chestnuts are nature's most powerful antioxidant, how common walnuts rejuvenate your brain and protect your heart, and how pecans provide sustained energy for hours. I'll teach you exactly how much of each to consume, how to incorporate them into your routine, and what precautions to take to consume them safely. If you want to regain your vitality and energy, stay tuned until the end. Like, subscribe, and turn on the bell. Let's start with the first Amazonian treasure. Brazil nuts are much more than just a nut in our diet. Native to the majestic Amazon rainforest, this small seed holds one of nature's most powerful secrets for fighting cellular aging and restoring the vitality that we often feel diminish after the age of 60. When we talk about energy and vitality in old age, we cannot ignore the fundamental role that antioxidants play in our bodies, and this is precisely where Brazil nuts stand out in an absolutely exceptional way among all the foods available in nature. Selenium, a mineral found in extraordinarily high concentrations in Brazil nuts, acts as a true cellular guardian in our bodies. A single Brazil nut can contain between 68 and 91 micrograms of selenium, which is almost double the recommended daily requirement for an adult. This essential mineral acts as a cofactor for the enzyme glutathione peroxidase, one of the most important antioxidant enzymes in our body, responsible for neutralizing free radicals that accumulate naturally over the years. As we age, our antioxidant defense system naturally weakens, making us more vulnerable to oxidative stress, which manifests itself through chronic fatigue, decreased concentration, a weakened immune system, and a progressive loss of the vitality that characterized our youth. The process of fighting free radicals promoted by selenium in Brazil nuts is particularly relevant for people over the age of 60, as it is at this stage of life that the accumulation of oxidative damage becomes more evident and has a greater impact on our quality of life. Free radicals, unstable molecules produced naturally by our metabolism and also by external factors such as pollution, stress, and excessive sun exposure, attack our healthy cells, causing a process known as oxidative stress. This phenomenon is one of the main causes of accelerated aging, decreased cellular energy, and the impairment of important vital functions, including our body's ability to efficiently produce energy from the food we eat. When we regularly incorporate Brazil nuts into our diet, we are providing our body with a powerful tool to reverse this degenerative process. The selenium present in this Amazonian nut not only neutralizes existing free radicals, but also strengthens the body's entire antioxidant defense system, creating lasting protection against future cell damage. This protective effect extends throughout the body, benefiting everything from the cardiovascular system to the central nervous system, including the immune system and the organs responsible for cellular energy production, the mitochondria. Mitochondria, often called the power plants of our cells, are particularly benefited by the antioxidant action of selenium. With aging, these cellular structures suffer cumulative damage that results in decreased production of ATP, the molecule responsible for providing energy for all cellular functions. When we protect our mitochondria through regular consumption of Brazil nuts, we are directly contributing to maintaining our energy levels at higher levels, combating that feeling of constant tiredness that many people experience after the age of 60. In addition to their extraordinary selenium content, Brazil nuts also offer a synergistic combination of other nutrients that enhance their antioxidant benefits. Rich in vitamin E, another powerful fat-soluble antioxidant, magnesium, which is essential for muscle and cardiovascular function, and healthy fats that facilitate the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins, this Amazonian nut represents a true nutritional complex designed by nature to promote longevity and vitality. The impact of regular consumption of Brazil nuts on the energy and daily disposition of mature individuals transcends purely nutritional benefits. When our antioxidant system is working properly, the entire body operates more efficiently, resulting in better sleep quality, greater mental clarity, a more resistant immune system, and consequently, a general feeling of well-being and vitality that is reflected in all daily activities. It is important to note that the benefits are cumulative and manifest gradually, becoming more evident with consistent consumption over time. Common walnuts, with their characteristic shape that curiously resembles the anatomy of the human brain, represent one of the most extraordinary foods that nature offers us to keep our minds sharp and our hearts healthy, especially after the age of 60. This visual similarity is not a mere coincidence of fate, but rather a fascinating reflection of the neurological benefits that this nut provides to our body. Rich in omega-3 fatty acids, particularly alpha-linolenic acid, walnuts are one of the most concentrated plant sources of these essential lipids, which are fundamental for the proper functioning of the central nervous system and for maintaining cardiovascular health at a stage of life when these systems begin to show the first signs of natural wear and tear. The human brain is composed of approximately 60% fat and and a significant portion of this lipid composition is made up of omega-3 fatty acids, which play crucial roles in the formation and maintenance of neuron cell membranes, the transmission of nerve impulses, and the production of neurotransmitters responsible for communication between brain cells. As we age, our natural ability to synthesize and utilize these essential fatty acids progressively declines, resulting in what many people experience as brain fog, difficulty concentrating, memory lapses, and a decrease in the mental agility that characterized younger years. Regular consumption of walnuts provides the brain with exactly the nutrients it needs to maintain optimal cognitive function, acting as a true premium fuel for our mental abilities. The omega-3 fatty acids found in walnuts not only nourish existing brain tissue, but also promote neurogenesis, the process by which new nerve cells are formed even in advanced adulthood. This mechanism is particularly important for people over the age of 60, as it contradicts the long-held belief that the brain cannot generate new neurons after youth. Scientific studies have shown that regular consumption of walnuts is associated with significant improvements in working memory, information processing speed, cognitive flexibility, and learning ability, benefits that become even more valuable at a stage in life when we want to maintain our intellectual independence and our ability to make complex decisions with clarity and precision. Alongside the neurological benefits, walnuts have a profoundly positive impact on the cardiovascular system, a vital organ that also requires special care after the age of 60. The heart and blood vessels of mature individuals face unique challenges, including a natural increase in arterial stiffness, a tendency to accumulate atherosclerotic plaques, and a decrease in heart muscle efficiency. The omega-3 fatty acids in walnuts act as true cardiovascular protectors, reducing levels of systemic inflammation that contribute to the development of heart disease, improving artery flexibility, optimizing blood lipid profiles, and contributing to the maintenance of healthy blood pressure. The mechanism by which walnuts protect the heart is multifaceted and deeply integrated with other body systems. The omega-3s present in these nuts positively influence the production of anti-inflammatory prostaglandins, molecules that help control chronic inflammatory processes that can damage artery walls over time. At the same time, these essential fatty acids improve endothelial function, which is the ability of blood vessels to dilate and contract properly in response to the body's circulatory demands. This optimized endothelial function translates into better blood circulation, reduced vascular resistance, and less work for the heart to pump blood throughout the body. The connection between brain and cardiovascular health through walnut consumption is particularly relevant for older adults, as both systems are interdependent in complex ways. A well-nourished brain protected by the omega-3s in walnuts functions more efficiently, reducing oxidative stress and the production of stress hormones that can negatively impact the cardiovascular system. Conversely, a healthy heart and flexible arteries ensure that the brain receives an adequate and constant supply of oxygen and nutrients, creating a virtuous cycle of health and vitality that manifests itself through increased energy, better mood, more restful sleep, and a general sense of well-being that characterizes healthy and active aging. Pecans, sustained energy without sugar spikes. Pecans, with their characteristic sweet flavor and creamy texture, represent a true revolution in the concept of sustained energy for people over 60, offering a sophisticated and naturally balanced alternative to conventional foods that often cause the dreaded energy roller coasters so common at this stage of life. Native to the southeastern United States, these oblong, elegant nuts contain a unique combination of monounsaturated fats, high-quality protein, soluble fiber, and an impressive array of micronutrients that work synergistically to provide slow-release, steady energy, without the sharp spikes and crashes in blood glucose that characterize the consumption of refined carbohydrates and simple sugars. This characteristic makes pecans particularly valuable for mature individuals, whose energy metabolism often becomes less efficient and more sensitive to glycemic fluctuations that can result in episodes of fatigue, irritability, and decreased ability to concentrate. The secret to the sustained energy provided by pecans lies in their exceptional lipid composition, where approximately 72% of the content consists of healthy fats, predominantly monounsaturated fatty acids, particularly oleic acid, the same beneficial component found in extra virgin olive oil. These fats not only provide dense, long-lasting energy, with 9 calories per gram compared to 4 calories in carbohydrates, but are also metabolized completely differently by the body, causing no insulin spikes or overloading the glycemic regulation system, which often becomes less responsive with aging. When we consume pecans, our body uses these fats as fuel through a metabolic process called beta oxidation, which produces energy gradually and sustainably, maintaining stable blood glucose levels for prolonged periods and avoiding the energy crashes that many people experience after consuming foods high in sugar or refined carbohydrates. The protein present in pecans, although in lower concentrations than fats, plays a key role in maintaining sustained energy by providing essential amino acids that the body uses not only for tissue building and repair, but also as a substrate for the production of neurotransmitters and enzymes involved in energy metabolism. This high-quality vegetable protein has a complete and bioavailable amino acid profile, which means that our body can use it efficiently for multiple metabolic functions, including maintaining muscle mass, which is particularly important for people over the age of 60 who face sarcopenia, the natural loss of muscle mass associated with aging. The combination of healthy fats and quality protein creates a synergistic effect that prolongs the feeling of satiety and keeps energy levels stable for hours after consumption, eliminating the need for frequent snacks or the consumption of artificial stimulants to maintain energy levels throughout the day. The soluble fiber found in pecans contributes significantly to the stabilization of blood sugar levels by forming a viscous matrix in the digestive tract that slows the absorption of nutrients and promotes a gradual release of energy into the bloodstream. This mechanism is particularly beneficial for mature individuals who may have developed some degree of insulin resistance or prediabetes, conditions that become more common with aging and can be significantly improved through smart food choices such as the regular inclusion of pecans in the diet. In addition, these fibers feed the beneficial bacteria in the gut microbiome, promoting healthy digestion and contributing to the production of short-chain fatty acids that have anti-inflammatory properties and can positively influence energy metabolism at the cellular level. The impact of pecans on energy regulation extends beyond purely metabolic aspects, also influencing sleep quality and the body's natural circadian rhythms. By preventing the blood sugar spikes and crashes that can interfere with the production of melatonin and other sleep-regulating hormones, regular consumption of pecans contributes to a more restful and consistent sleep pattern, a crucial factor in maintaining energy and vitality throughout the following day. This metabolic stability is also reflected in improved cognitive function, more balanced mood, and greater ability to cope with stress, creating a virtuous circle of well-being that characterizes healthy and active aging. The sustained energy provided by pecans allows mature individuals to maintain their daily activities with greater consistency and enjoyment, without relying on artificial stimulants or suffering from energy highs and lows that can compromise quality of life and functional independence. Determining the ideal amount of nuts for daily consumption after age 60 is one of the most crucial and often overlooked aspects of the quest for greater energy and vitality through diet. This question goes far beyond simply establishing arbitrary numbers, involving a deep understanding of the specific metabolic needs of mature individuals, the nutritional density of each type of nut, and the delicate art of balancing maximum benefits with caloric and digestive sustainability. The answer to this fundamental question lies at the intersection of modern nutritional science, biological individuality, and everyday practicality, considering that people over the age of 60 often have slightly reduced caloric needs compared to previous decades, but paradoxically require even greater nutritional density to maintain their physiological functions at optimal levels and combat the natural effects of aging. For Brazil nuts, with their exceptional concentration of selenium, the ideal amount is between 1 and 2 nuts per day, equivalent to approximately 5 to 10 grams of this precious Amazonian seed. This seemingly modest recommendation is based on the fact that a single Brazil nut provides between 68 and 91 micrograms of selenium, an amount that already meets and may even slightly exceed the recommended daily requirement of 55 micrograms for adults. Excessive selenium consumption can lead to selenosis, a condition characterized by symptoms such as fatigue, irritability, changes in nails and hair, and even impaired immune function, exactly the opposite of what we seek to achieve. Therefore, intelligent moderation in the consumption of Brazil nuts represents not only a nutritional optimization strategy, but also a safety measure that allows you to reap all the antioxidant benefits without the risk of toxicity, especially important for mature individuals who may have reduced mineral excretion capacity due to natural changes in kidney function with aging. Common walnuts, with their rich profile of omega-3 fatty acids and other neuroprotective nutrients, should be consumed in an amount of approximately 30 grams per day, which corresponds to about 7 to 8 walnut halves, or approximately a small handful. This serving provides approximately 2.5 grams of alpha-linolenic acid, which represents a significant contribution to daily omega-3 requirements, especially considering that many mature individuals do not consume fatty fish regularly. This amount also provides about 185 calories, which fits perfectly into the context of a balanced diet for people over the age of 60, contributing high-quality energy without compromising weight control. It is important to note that walnut consumption nutrition should be spread throughout the day, preferably not concentrated in a single meal, to optimize nutrient absorption and avoid possible digestive discomfort that some people may experience with larger amounts consumed at one time. For pecans, the ideal amount ranges from 20 to 25 grams per day, equivalent to approximately 10 to 12 halves, providing about 140 to 175 calories of sustained, high-quality energy. This serving offers an ideal combination of monounsaturated fats, protein, and fiber that promote lasting satiety and glycemic stability without overburdening the digestive system. The creamy texture and naturally sweet flavor of pecans make them particularly suitable for mature individuals who may have modified food preferences or chewing difficulties, allowing them to be easily incorporated into various culinary preparations or consumed raw as an energy snack between main meals. The timing of consumption of these three nuts throughout the day also deserves special attention to maximize their energy and metabolic benefits. The most effective strategy involves spreading consumption over 2 or 3 different occasions, taking advantage of the natural rhythms of metabolism and varying energy needs throughout the day. A practical and efficient approach is to consume one serving in the morning as part of breakfast or as a morning snack, providing sustained energy for activities in the first half of the day, and another serving in the middle of the afternoon, when many people experience a natural drop in energy levels and can benefit from the stabilizing nutritional contribution of nuts. It is essential to recognize that these recommendations are general guidelines that should be adapted to each person's individual needs, specific health conditions, and personal goals. Individuals with diabetes, dyslipidemia, obesity, or other metabolic conditions may require adjustments in the amounts or distribution of consumption, always under the guidance of qualified health professionals. Similarly, people with food allergies or sensitivities should proceed with caution and consider appropriate nutritional alternatives that provide similar benefits without compromising their safety or well-being. The true transformation in energy and vitality through nut consumption only happens when we are able to integrate these powerful foods naturally and sustainably into our daily routine, creating eating habits that become as automatic as brushing our teeth or eating breakfast. For people over the age of 60, this integration requires a particularly careful and intelligent approach, considering not only personal preferences and physical limitations that may arise with aging, but also the importance of creating positive and enjoyable associations with these new eating habits to ensure their long-term maintenance. The key lies in identifying natural moments in the day when nuts can be incorporated without creating resistance or unnecessary complications, taking advantage of established rituals and existing preferences to facilitate this fundamental nutritional transition. Breakfast is the most strategic and natural time to start incorporating nuts into the daily routine, as this is when our bodies most need high-quality nutrients after the night's fast, and when we have the most control over our food choices before the demands of the day take priority. An extremely effective approach is to create what we might call a morning nut ritual, where a pre-measured serving of the 3 varieties is always available in an attractive container in the kitchen, becoming a visual and physical part of the breakfast environment. These nuts can be easily incorporated into plain yogurt, creating an interesting texture and contrast of flavors that makes the meal more satisfying and nutritionally complete. Or they can be added to whole grain cereals, oatmeal, or morning smoothies, providing not only nutritional benefits but also a feeling of prolonged satiety that helps prevent mid-morning snacking. For those who prefer more elaborate options or enjoy cooking, nuts can be incorporated into homemade whole grain bread recipes, nutritious muffins, or protein pancakes, creating dishes that can be made in larger quantities on weekends and consumed throughout the week, making it easier to maintain the habit even on busier days. A particularly effective strategy for people who have difficulty with harder textures is to create homemade butter or spreads by processing nuts until they reach a creamy consistency that can be easily spread on whole grain toast or added to smoothies, maintaining all the nutritional benefits while offering a smoother and more enjoyable sensory experience. The afternoon snack represents another crucial moment for the strategic incorporation of nuts, especially considering that this is often the time of day when energy levels begin to naturally decline and when many people turn to less nutritious options such as cookies, candy, or caffeinated coffee to combat fatigue. Having a pre-prepared serving of nuts available at this time can literally transform this energy transition, providing sustained fuel that not only revitalizes the body and mind, but also helps maintain stable blood glucose levels until the next main meal. An excellent strategy is to combine nuts with fresh fruit, creating a snack that offers the ideal combination of healthy fats, fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants, while satisfying any sweet cravings in a completely natural and nutritious way. Incorporating nuts into main meals also offers creative and delicious opportunities to diversify your diet and significantly increase the nutritional value of your usual dishes. Green salads take on a whole new dimension when enriched with coarsely chopped nuts, not only in terms of flavor and texture, but also by providing healthy proteins and fats that transform a simple starter into a more complete and satisfying meal. Brown rice, quinoa, or other whole grain dishes benefit greatly from the addition of nuts lightly toasted in a dry skillet, creating an interesting textural contrast and an irresistible aroma that makes these preparations more appealing and enjoyable. To ensure the sustainability of these new habits, it is essential to create organization and preparation systems that minimize the daily effort required to maintain consistent nut consumption. This includes techniques such as weekly pre-processing, where all nuts are cleaned, separated into appropriate portions, and stored in airtight containers that preserve their freshness and facilitate daily access. Creating strategic visual reminders, such as leaving a small container with the daily portion in an easily visible place in the kitchen, or establishing associations with activities already established in the routine, such as always eating nuts after brushing your teeth in the morning, are powerful psychological strategies that help consolidate these new behaviors until they become truly automatic and natural. Precautions and contraindications. Safe consumption of nuts. Safe consumption of nuts after the age of 60 requires a careful and well-informed approach that recognizes the natural physiological changes of aging and specific health conditions that may develop or intensify at this stage of life. Although nuts are exceptionally nutritious and beneficial foods for the vast majority of people, there are particular circumstances where their consumption should be moderated, adjusted, or even temporarily avoided, always under appropriate medical guidance. This reality in no way diminishes the nutritional value of these extraordinary foods, but rather emphasizes the importance of a personalized and responsible approach that considers individual health status, medications, allergy history, and other medical conditions that may influence how the body processes and responds to specific components present in different varieties of nuts. Food allergies are the most immediate and potentially serious concern related to nut consumption, especially considering that allergic reactions to oil seeds can range from mild symptoms such as itching and digestive discomfort to severe anaphylactic reactions that are life-threatening medical emergencies. For people who have never consumed nuts regularly or who suspect a possible sensitivity, it is essential to start with very small amounts and carefully observe any reactions in the first 30 minutes to 2 hours after consumption. Symptoms such as swelling of the lips, tongue, or throat, difficulty breathing, skin rashes, severe nausea, or dizziness should be considered warning signs that require immediate cessation of consumption and urgent medical evaluation. It is important to note that allergies can develop at any age, and people who have consumed nuts without problems throughout their lives may, in rare cases, develop sensitivities in middle age due to changes in the immune system associated with aging. People who take anticoagulant medications such as warfarin, rivaroxaban, or apixaban should exercise special caution with nut consumption, particularly common nuts rich in vitamin K, which can interfere with the effectiveness of these medications and alter blood clotting times in unpredictable ways. Although this interaction does not necessarily mean that these individuals should completely avoid nuts, it is essential to maintain consistency in the amounts consumed and to report any significant changes in dietary habits to the responsible physician so that appropriate medication adjustments can be made. More frequent laboratory monitoring may be necessary during the period of incorporating nuts into the diet, ensuring that anticoagulation levels remain within safe and effective therapeutic parameters. Specific digestive conditions also deserve careful attention when considering the regular incorporation of nuts into the diet of mature individuals. Individuals with diverticular disease, irritable bowel syndrome, inflammatory bowel disease, or a history of intestinal obstructions should proceed with extreme caution, as the fiber and small particles in nuts can potentially aggravate these conditions or cause significant discomfort. In these situations, it may be necessary to opt for processed preparations such as nut butters or finely ground flours, which retain much of the nutritional benefits while reducing the potential for irritation to the sensitive digestive tract. Introduction should be extremely gradual, starting with minimal amounts and increasing slowly as individual tolerance allows. People with diabetes mellitus should approach nut consumption with an informed perspective on their impact on blood sugar levels, although this impact is generally positive due to the low glycemic index and stabilizing effect of the fats and proteins present in nuts. However, it is crucial to consider the significant caloric content of nuts in the context of weight control, a key factor in the management of type 2 diabetes. More frequent monitoring of blood glucose may be necessary during the first few weeks of incorporating nuts into the diet to observe individual response patterns and make appropriate adjustments to anti-diabetic medication, always under specialized medical supervision. Chronic kidney disease is another area of concern, especially due to the high potassium and phosphorus content in some varieties of nuts, nutrients that can accumulate dangerously dangerously in people with impaired kidney function. Patients in advanced stages of chronic kidney disease or those on dialysis require specialized nutritional guidance before incorporating nuts into their diets, as excessive accumulation of these minerals can cause serious cardiovascular and bone complications. Similarly, the high oxalate content in some nuts may contribute to kidney stone formation in predisposed individuals, necessitating an individualized assessment of risks and benefits. The fundamental wisdom lies in recognizing that, while nuts are extraordinarily beneficial foods for most people, safety should always prevail over potential benefits, and any questions or specific health conditions should be discussed with qualified healthcare professionals before making significant changes to dietary habits.